Hello family. Our movie begins with a man named Germain, who works as a teacher at a school. Only while Germain was at home checking the students' assignments did we see his wife, Jean. She examines several students' assignments and inquires of Germain, "Why have you awarded so many filthy marks to the kids on this?" According to Germain, the children did not write anything noteworthy, so that's a plus. Then an assignment from a student named Claude arrives, in which it is written that Claude has been wanting to visit the residence of a student named Rafa for a long time. And then, after teaching Rafa math, he goes to his residence there. Claude saw Rafa's mother, Esther, who was stunning. Claude comes down by letting Rafa solve the arithmetic difficulty while explaining further. Rafa underneath that his mom was reading the magazine. And after a long while, Claude starts looking at her continually when Esther gets up and departs. Then Claude returns and begins teaching Rafa, telling him that his arithmetic is terrible. That is why he is required to teach him tuition every day. After reading all of this, Germain tells his wife that this boy's writing ability is exceptional, but this boy is a gift from God. The following day in class, Germain inquires Claude about the job and says that you would be in severe trouble if Rafa finds out what you think about his mother. Claude claims that he wrote this not for Rafa, but for Germain. It then displays the prior assignments text to your mother. Germain then tells his wife about it, and they begin reading the next story. It was reported that when Claude went to Rafa's house, his mother was overjoyed because Rafa's math was improving. And when his mother left for work, on the other side, Claude looked at her with dirty eyes. After reading, Germain's wife is perplexed as to how a child of the last generation could think such things. However, Germain is unconcerned. He was also amazed by Claude's writing abilities. The following day, Germain obtains Claude's family information from the school and discovers that Claude's family relocated here 2 years ago, and they've done it several times before. As a result, Germain believes that Claude is upset and that he requires suitable leadership. So now Germain is determined to assist Claude in becoming a good writer, and he gives him several books to do so. Only then does Claude offer him the next task. He stated that when he got to Rafa's house this time, Rafa and his father were watching the game. Rafa's mother then joins them, knowing that Claude is confident that he would succeed in capturing the heart of Rafa's mother. Then Rafa's father receives an important call from the office and responds. Seeing this, Claude believes that if the distance is created between the mother and the father, the path will be cleared for him at the same time. After reading this homework, Germain asks him about the methods of writing. Then Claude asks Germain, "Why are you assisting me?" Then Germain says, "Your writing ability is God-given, and I want to make you a famous writer." When he returns, Germain's wife begins reading homework, claiming that Claude is a God-given talent. Following this, Claude assigns Germain another project at school the following day, so that Germain can return home and study with his wife, Jean. Claude noted in the assignment that he gave Rafa a challenging problem to solve this time. Then he walked downstairs to visit Rafa's mother. Rafa's mother and father were squabbling, and Claude is overjoyed to know more about what happened. Rafa's mother is too far outside. She will see Claude, but then Claude pretends to look at the painting in front of him. But Rafa's mother noticed that Claude was paying attention to them, so she informed Rafa's father. Late at night, they are discussing the need to find another instructor for Rafa. All this, Claude is hearing through the door, and after hearing all of this, Claude becomes tense and realizes that if Rafa does not perform well in the upcoming math test, he will not be able to come here to teach Rafa again. After much contemplation, Claude comes up with an idea and asks Germain to steal the math paper in companionship the next day. He also tells Germain that if he doesn't, he would quit writing the story. Germain is astonished to learn this because he intended to help Claude become a brilliant writer. As a result, he steals the math paper and provides it to Claude, at Claude's request. Then, when the test is given, Rafa receives very high grades, as her mother and father praise Claude and do not change him. Then Rafa's dad invites Claude to join them in a basketball game, but Claude declines since when the two of them go, Rafa's mother will be alone and he will be able to meet her. When Rafa leaves to play a match with his father, Claude visits Rafa's home. Rafa's mother was alone at home at the time, and Claude told her that he came here to grab his math book. Then, despite extensive searching, they are unable to locate any math books. Then Claude tells Rafa's mother that his mother, too, had an earring similar to hers, but she has now left him. Hearing this, Rafa's mom becomes upset, and both of them begin to enjoy themselves by drinking cold drinks. Now, after reading this assignment, how does Germain's wife feel that if Rafa and his father find out about all of this, they will not leave Claude? However, Germain claims that this will never happen, followed by another assignment. Claude is in it. He wrote that while he was quite late at Rafa's house, so Rafa's father wanted him to sleep on it today. Rafa then goes to show Claude his room and tells him that he is his best friend. Then he kisses Claude, indicating that Rafa is gay and that he has begun to like Claude. At midnight, Claude enters Rafa's parents' room and continues to stare at Rafa's mother asleep. After reading this, Jean, Germain's wife, feels odd, and Germain says there's nothing wrong with it. This is a fantasy shared by all children of Claude's age. Jean asks Germain if he has fallen in love with Claude because he hasn't been paying attention to her since he began reading this. However, after hearing this, Germain says that there's nothing like this and like ladies only. In Claude's assignment, we see that he is getting very near to Rafa's mother. One night ahead, Rafa's mother and father had a tremendous argument in which both of them were fighting like mad. Now, Claude, who was standing outside, was quietly watching everything. After, when Rafa's father leaves, Claude gives Rafa's mother a letter that he had already prepared for such a case. Likewise, Rafa's mother invites Claude to her after reading the letter, and as the two are conversing, Claude imagines Germain, who asks him that he gave her the letter and didn't even notify them next. We notice that Rafa's mother adores that letter. That's why she's giving Claude so many kisses. Rafa was watching from the window and he was devastated to witness this. After that, he returns to his room and commits suicide. And the story is still written in Germain in the final assignment. When it falls, he becomes upset, and he is unable to tell his wife about it. On the following day's class, Germain initially inquires about Rafa but learns that he did not attend school today, which makes Germain even more nervous. Out of anxiety, a teacher calls Rafa's house to inquire why Rafa did not attend school today, and he learns that Rafa is ill and could not attend school today. After hearing this, Germain asks Claude, why did you write that in today's assignment? So Claude informs him that he wrote about Rafa's death in order to make the story more fascinating. Germain was beginning to suspect that if Rafa discovered the truth, he might commit suicide. As a result, he prevents Claude from writing the story. However, Claude claims that because he has come a long way, he cannot stop hearing this. Germain claims that he will no longer read any of his stories, so Claude departs by tossing his next task into the trash. Then, unable to stop himself, Germain begins stealing assignments from the garbage can. That assignment stated that Rafa's father had returned home today, very depressed because he is currently dissatisfied with his employment. Then Rafa's mother comes there to say something, and seeing this, we think that she is coming to tell her husband about Claude, but she does not tell her husband but instead offers the wonderful news that she is pregnant, which makes Rafa's father very pleased. Then Rafa appears and informs them that Claude will no longer be visiting their home, and that he requires the services of another math instructor. After reading all of this, Germain approaches Claude and tells him that Rafa's family is happy now and that it would be inappropriate for him to go there. Claude concurs and declares that he will no longer write from now on. Claude then tells Germain that he and Rafa had a disagreement today because he discovered about him and his mother, and we see that Claude tries to finish his narrative with Rafa's mother. When he reaches close to Rafa's mother, she returns the letter he wrote. Then Claude tells Rafa's mother that both of us can leave here and start a new life. But Rafa's mother refuses since Claude was too young. Claude is currently upset over this and begins crying. The following scene shows Claude at Germain's house. Jean, Germain's wife, notices him and informs him that Germain is not at home. Claude responds, I know he's not at home. That is why I have come. The movie then cuts to Germain getting booted from school after the principal discovered that Germain had stolen the math papers before the exam. When the same Germain returns to his house, Jean gives him Claude's assignment, in which Germain and Jean discover that Germain once told him that my wife has a nephew, so we are not having a baby. After listening, Jean becomes enraged, and she starts an affair with Claude. After learning all of this, Germain becomes enraged and engages in a fight with Jean. Then we see Germain and Claude conversing in the next scene. Germain couldn't believe the boy who had lost his job and his wife had abandoned him. Despite this, he continues to speak to him. This is how the movie ends. Leave us a comment about how you found this movie. See you in the next video.